Good morning.
I'm not sure if you guys all had a chance to see this. There's a few points that they want me to cover on this. I don't know if it's all relevant to everyone, but I'll cover everything that's on here. And then I was just going to go through the basics, what's on here, so everything that you see on the left side. And then I was hoping if you guys had any questions, I could answer them third. How does that sound?
Perfect.
Okay, awesome. I'll start off by sharing how I use Collaborate, because I find it honestly much more useful than Thread. So I use it to search for properties myself, and I also use it to set up property searches for my clients. The same way that you set up a property search in MLS, you can set up a property search on Collaborate, and they have the option to like, comment, view, share listings, something that they can't do on a property search. That just goes directly to email.
First question. Collaborate is accessed though through MLS, right?
Yeah, but you can download an app on your phone.
Okay.
And you can, what I did originally when I was learning how to use it is I sent myself an invitation to my personal email so that I could use it the way a client would use it. Does that make sense? So that way, if you do that, you can go to collaborate.com and just log in with your email and password. You don't have to go in through Tread, log in through Collaborate. So, everyone know how to log in to Collaborate?
No, through .com, just through MLS.
We
Yeah.
are newbies.
So, everyone's familiar with this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you just go down the left sidebar here, you'll see Collaborate. If you click on that, it'll redirect you and automatically log you in. Once you log into Tread, it'll just transfer over your credentials. You can also do the same if you have a mobile device. You can download the Collaborate app. Under username, if you put your Tread member number, it'll prompt you with an authenticator login. And then you just put your password and then the authenticator login. Good. I'll pass my phone around after. Okay. So this is the news feed. You're seeing my name here because I set myself up as a client, but if I scroll down, you'll see other people. Those are some of my clients and some of the properties that they've viewed. So this is essentially all information from all of your clients in chronological order. All right? Just like Facebook. Same principle. And then just to give you an example, this is what a client's page would look like. Zoom out a little bit. So these are the lists, suggestions. He's made this list. So he was searching for properties and was able to make this list. And then other lists, disliked properties, and I can access all of this information. And he's done it all, right?
Sorry, did you go through this with him and show him how to use it, or was this just, is it intuitive?
He was technically inclined. So when you go into your client tab on the left side there, you can click new, and then you have to fill in name, last name, and email address. And then once you do, save an invite, and it'll send them an invitation to their email. They just click it, create a password, and then they're good to go. And then they see what we see, minus this part. Yeah.
If you're using MLS, you'll get a list where it says active and non-active of all the people that you already have set up in MLS. So you can either set them up the way he said it was done, just like a new one.
Yeah.
Or you should see them either active or not active in that column.
So you mean like if you have somebody set up as a property search,
Yeah.
Yeah, mine
you'll
all
see
came
them
up
as
on
active on there?
They'll come up, well, they won't be active on there because you haven't set them up there, but they'll be listed below.
Well,
Oh,
I'd say
even
I
if
have
you
a
have
lot
something
of set up there, but nothing's coming up.
James,
It says no active clients.
why,
Because you have no active clients on Collaborate. But it should show, mine shows me all the other people that I have.
They
on
have
there
to be invited to the collaborative.
to be on.
maybe
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
So you don't have to type in all their new information. If you've got it in MLS, it should show up on the
Okay.
You try that.
maybe because, okay, how many people are really actively using this right now? Okay, why don't we start like from scratch of like, how do we, add a client, then how do we build their search, and then how do we, because like the one problem that I have is that, so I've got the client, I've got the search, and then for whatever reason, it doesn't seem that I can't link them up, because then my clients don't seem to be getting the matches on Colab. So I'm trying to figure out sort of where am I making the mistakes, so
Okay, let's do that.
maybe that, we just,
Okay. We've covered the login. Is everyone clear how to log in and get to Collab? Yes? Okay.
So just one second, so it's that, so to log in, this is going through Trev?
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
familiar with this?
No, so I haven't actually got access to that. Yeah, meeting, that's okay, I'll figure
Are
it out.
you on?
No.
Are you? You're not
Just
set
getting a
yet?
Trev number now.
Okay.
Right, so, yeah, so I'll figure this one out, so it's through the Trev portal.
When you log into Trev, this is gonna be the first page that you're gonna see.
Yeah.
And most of what you'll be doing is in the search properties window, and then that's what this looks like. So this is the database of all the properties that you search. On the left side, it's a cutoff. There you go. On the left side here, there's everything. There's like geo warehouse, all this stuff, and then right here, collaborate. Click on that, it'll redirect you and automatically log you in. So you
Cool,
go through.
all right, thank you.
So then, okay, let's say you're getting started. Run down to clients here. You'll see my list of clients. And when I put an X, it's just because I didn't go the last second. Then you have to put it.
Do you, because you're already set up, like, is it easier to, I'm not, is it easier to set up from scratch? Because mine doesn't look like any. Did you, do you know what I mean? I don't have anything in there. Is it easier to show everybody?
Well, it's already set up. The only difference is that's my newsfeed, and you're not going to have anything on yours. There's no property search. But if you go to like this, you can search for properties, and you can set up a search for yourself, and then you can start to see stuff. So, clients tab. Here, you've got a client and you want to set them up with a search, or they can even set themselves up for a search if you have a very self-directed client. So,
What did you do? Oh.
New client.
See, my actives do come up, by the way.
Clients.
clients, new up there.
Yeah, thanks.
Little plus sign, add them. So all you need is basic info, first name, last name, email address. Good?
Yeah.
That's good. Save an invite, they just give you a default message. I'm fine with that. And so this is what the registration, the invitation will look like. Super simple. So 70 slotted. Boom. So that was it. It just asked me to make a username and add a password. And then the rest was filled in because I had already filled it in when I sent them the invitation, right?
Is this what's coming back to you after you send them the invite?
Yeah. So
So this
this
is what they're opening up in there?
is what your client would see if you wanted to help them through the process.
Okay.
It's pretty straightforward, right? And then this is what they see. This is the client-facing portal. So it's pretty much the same as what you'd see. And then, so now, yeah, so you'll notice this is my business one. The clients tab is still there. When I switch over to this one, they don't have it. But they'll have a message. So you'll be able to send them messages, send them properties and whatnot. And if they wanted, they could go under search listings. And honestly, I really like the way they set up the search listings on this. It's super easy. They're able to set up their own searches, right? And it pulls from Trev in real time, whereas the Creo or Realtor.ca doesn't, right? So this is the benefit. So say, I'm not gonna, I don't know how to make a search, but say they just want to do this in downtown, and they're like, that's it, boom.
But can you can set this up for them from the back end?
Yeah, I'll show you that in a second.
Okay.
So we can do all this. So now I've got that search, and if I go back to mine, I'm now on my business account, and this is the search that I just made on my client account, right? You following? Sorry, it's a little confusing. I should have used a different name. But that's basically how the newsfeed works. So they're able to set up a search, but sorry.
So on your news feed, it will just show all your clients, what they've searched, what you guys have sent back and forth
Exactly.
to each other?
And they have other
But it's a
functions.
little confusing, because sometimes it's what you've done with them, and sometimes it's just the automatic searches. And I find it hard to distinguish between, when I'm looking through the news feed, if it's something that they sent me or something the system sent.
Well, the idea is it's everything.
Yeah.
So if they set up a search, it'll tell you they just set up a search, but you'll also get the results of all those searches. So
Is there a filter though that you could set so that you only want to see the automated ones or you only self-select ones?
I believe there it is. So I can't stay logged in. There we go. So yeah, sorry, now I'm back in my business account one. And then this was the search that I just created. And I can go in to my clients and then pull up this account and see searches, right? Right here. But if I was like, okay, James X, I think your search is great, but I want to make you a search instead. You can do the same thing on yours, creating a search and then saving it for them. So, sorry, that's too fast. Okay, so, back to newsfeed. If I have a client and they've created their search, but I also want to make them a search, or even if I just want to do it and I don't want them to do anything, I can go into search listings, and then the same way you do a property search on MLS, you just choose criteria, not as many options. Say we're going to do freehold. That's good. Say this, and then I can say attached 700 to, and then, yep.
Can you do a map search? Can you draw a map of these ones?
Yeah, of course. Same
Can
thing.
you show us how you do that when you're adding that?
I wanted to create some.
So here you can use the same trend codes, right? You can do C1 if you wanted,
Yeah.
but if you go up here, you also have, this is a grab tool, but this is a circle.
Yeah.
So you just set where you want the center of the circle, same idea, that,
Or you can do specific shapes.
or you can do, this is like a custom shape, right?
Yep. Cool. Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, you can do it the exact same way.
Okay.
This way,
You
right?
can do, hold on, sorry to interrupt you, you can do all three?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
You just did it.
So yeah, and then you're like, okay, this is the perfect search for you. Save it, and then here, this is, they wouldn't see this, but then you go, okay, I want James to see this. And then notify my client via email, and notify me. And this is nice because you can set whatever. It's not so like, if it's a very popular search, they're not being bombarded every 5
Sorry, I
minutes.
can't
with
see
new
this.
listings.
What's the?
It's real time, hourly, 6 hour, 12 hour.
Oh,
You can choose how often they're getting notified.
oh, okay.
And if you want them notified via email or not. Because you can set it so that they'll just be prompted once they log into Collaborate, and then they can see the listings, or it's pushed directly to their email, like a property search would from Trev. Right? Okay, so that's the primary function that I use it for. And then from the client's perspective, they can go in, and then their news feed is going to essentially look something like this, right? But it's going to have their name on it, and it's going to have all the listings and what search is coming from. And they can comment and whatnot, and then when they comment, all those comments you get to see as well, right?
That's great.
Yeah.
So I have a question, because I do use it, but I get notifications that someone's been on it,
Mhm.
and they have a new meeting criteria, but in order to look at that, I have to log into Trev to have access. I can't click on that actual link that it sends me, unfortunately.
No,
So I
Trev
have to
really
go
likes
into
your
log into
security.
Play to see exactly what it is, that's the
Yeah.
other thing. There's no way around that, or there's no way of me getting notification specifically.
Like to your email, for example,
Yeah,
one just based on activity,
well, no, because I get that,
right?
but I'd like to know what it is.
But without
I have
having to
go
log
and
in?
Log into Trev.
Yeah, I don't know if that's possible.
So the only way to use it without logging in, there's no way to use it without
No.
logging
Yeah.
Because even through the app, you have to use.
But I didn't realize that you could use your Trev login on your phone until recently. So I had set up myself a client profile so that I could just use my email and password to sign in on my phone, because that's what I found it most convenient. If I was like on showings and I wanted to search about a property, logging into Trev and using it on your phone is a nightmare. And the Trev app is, the Collab app is much better.
Stratus Collab, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Yeah, Stratus Collab. It looks like it's a big white sea with a blue background. I'd really recommend it. Okay, so that's 95% of what I use it for. Anybody have any questions about that? I think we've covered most of what's on here. I don't know if this part's going to be relevant for everyone, but Mom, if you could please listen for a second. I figured out how to do Teams.
I saw a word.
I didn't realize that you could do this, but if you guys aren't Teams fine, this might apply to you.
Yeah,
You go down to your profile at the bottom, James Dobson, or go to Teams, new team member, and then it pulls Trev info, so everybody in your brokerage will be. Oh,
I saw a message come up, you did something.
yeah, I was practicing. So this is everybody in the brokerage,
Dobson.
and then yeah, so it's great. Create a team, and now I can share clients with her. If we're ever working on a deal together, she can see the search the same as I do, or set up a property search for them, just the same way.
Now,
Sorry, how did you add her to it altogether?
Let's do it together. It's actually super, super easy.
I was intrigued, I know.
So, 2 of them?
I have 2 teams in.
You can delete them. I think when I delete it, it doesn't get deleted for you. So on the side, go down to your profile, and then here, it's going to prompt you with this menu. Just go to Teams.
Okay.
It's going to kind of cut off. That says new team. Boom. And then it literally just asks you for a team name. And then when you click add member, it has all the brokerage agents right there. So you start typing and it should prompt you with whoever you're looking for. So you can only do it with people at your brokerage location. Create a team. And boom. Now I can see her, and now if I go back to any of these searches that I've created, I can add her to them as well. Or a client specifically, you can add them so they get notified as well.
I don't know if everybody has seen this, and I can't remember where I found it, but I did save it in, under documents. I saved it there, and I can't remember how the heck I did it, but there's a 1-pager that they created on how to use Collaborate. There's one for agents and there's one for clients.
They also made a really in-depth one. I'll send this to you guys after if you want.
The 1-pager one, I've just sort of put in there the client version, because you can share documents with your clients. So if you put the 1-pager in there, you can send them the 1-pager, and it gives them basically a short teaching on how to use it.
Is this on Trip somewhere?
I'll email it to all you guys.
Okay.
It's just a PDF, but it's got, this is
All the instructions.
literally, and it's got the graphics, it's circled everything, how to log in, using mobile app, newsfeed, it's got everything.
So Lizanne, are you using this for your clients?
I am. I've had some people sort of my generation that are a little more
That's what I was
challenged
gonna ask is-
in using the technology. It's not that simple to save the listings, because what would happen is she created a profile of a client in the States, and she had all sorts of shit in there, and she was like, it's not that easy to create it. And then when we went to go back and look at stuff and she'd want to delete the ones that she was no longer interested in, she had a bit of a hard time doing that. So I wanted to go back and actually make a cheat sheet for how to do certain things.
That's tough, because you don't so much delete properties as make a list for the ones that you like.
Right, but when she puts stuff in there that then she's no longer interested in, we did figure out a way to take them all out, otherwise the list becomes massive.
Yeah.
So we were trying to refine it so that whenever we looked at it, both of us, we knew exactly what the top ones were. And we did figure it out, but it was not that easy to do. I just have to figure out how to streamline that version. The other thing I found is I'm trying to create a one-pager, because when you do a buyer consultation, it's a lot easier just to set it up when they're right beside you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I haven't quite come up with how I'm gonna work that in. Instead of saying, I'll send you an invitation and then we can go from there, I wanna actually set them up while we're doing a buyer consultation, because otherwise,
Well, I went through the invitation demo, super simple. You just have to go on to, you have to just log in, go to clients, here.
Maybe it's
Go to
telling them
clients.
that you're gonna do that at the, at
And
the
then
meeting.
once you add a new client, you just have to put first name, last name, email address, and then they'll get an invitation to their email that looks like that. Then they'll just be prompted to create a username and password. And then they'll log in and see almost exactly what you do here, right?
right, but once they log in, unless they've actually done it, there's a learning curve that some of my clients will just say, like, this is not that intuitive.
So in that case, because the idea is like for me, I was doing property searches originally, but there'd be so many. Because I was doing a lot of leases, so there'd be like 25 to 50 properties that they'd be going through, and I'd always be sending them property searches. And then that just seemed inefficient, because then I'd send it to them, and then they would send me back the ones that they liked. This way I could set them up. They could set up that same search, and then just like the ones that they liked, and then I could go onto the profile and see them. Because when they try to email you back the ones that they like, and you have to take that MLS number, put it into MLS, search it, and then pull out,
Yes,
it takes forever.
And you can actually, like you said, you can like make comments on whatever ones that they like, whatever came up in
Yeah.
the news feed, right? So you guys can kind of communicate that way. through the-
So I think this guy out of everyone probably used it the best. He used every feature. So these are some of the properties he liked. Suggestions. Yeah, like it'll learn your preferences as well, so suggest you things, and then his lists, right?
Sorry, that was material what you just said there. So it will learn your preferences?
Well, suggestions.
Just AI.
Based on the properties that you're searching, it'll suggest new ones to you as well.
In the actual search itself. And is that then pushed at all?
I think it shows up in your news feed under suggested properties. So,
Can you favorite, like, so once the suggestion pops up, you can think about it, either favorite or save or something?
like it,
Okay.
and then it'll learn based on what you do there, you want more like that. And then same with the dislike, if you dislike it, it'll also say, okay, they don't want this. And then
Sorry, how do the suggestions work?
I can't see the suggestions
I can't see the
being that
suggest-
fantastic.
I can't even see
I think it
suggestions.
just automatically generates them,
I
right?
mean,
Yeah.
that's a little.
But it would just be automatically generated within the same price range and the area that they've already picked or you.
Like it's not
Is that
sending
something-
photos to
Yeah,
look
no.
at upgrades or anything, like it's
Oh, no.
a bit strange.
there's no way for it to.
No.
But is that something you turn on or off? Because I don't have it on mine.
James,
I think it just
I found, I
automatically
think
maybe
the
have to communicate with them.
cheat sheet, if you go onto your profile, and under help, it says quick reference guide for service brokers, quick reference guide for clients.
Yeah, that's the one.
The one pager?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under help, in your profile.
You go to your profile, and then you'll get the quick reference guide, client quick reference guide.
That was the one I was talking about.
User guide. So that document, that's the long one, that was the user guide. We've also got this one, which is, I imagine, just the one pager.
Yeah, just be careful, I don't know if they updated the one pager, because they used to have a heart icon as well as a like and a dislike,
Oh.
and that was out of date. It was referring to an icon that they no longer used.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
They updated it. Would it have been there?
They may have updated it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then I showed
So, that's good. Everybody's looking for it, find it? Let's put this one.
How easy is it to tweak your searches depending on the client's change of profile or change of wants or?
Super easy, I'll show you. Okay, so your client tells you they want one thing, and then the next day they tell you they want something else.
Exactly.
I'm sure we've all experienced this before. So just a little brief case. Just in the clients, pick the client you want, go to searches. So I've got two searches here. Bottom one, I made myself as a client, and the top one I set up for them. You just click on it. That's it right there. So you're like, okay, they didn't get pre-approved for 1.1, only $1 million. You just update the price, save it again. It's got all the same details, just the changes you made, and then save it, and you're good to go.
If you had changed the title of that search, would that have given you a third profile?
Let's try. I imagine it would just update it. So we've got two there. If I say,
We'll change it to one.
1.1, and I say, yeah, let's take out the M. Okay, so I've just saved that under a new title. Yeah, so it's saved as a new search with a different title.
So you can actually delete the one previous, or keep it in and they can look between $1 million and $1 million. Okay.
Super easy. I find it very intuitive. It is kind of like Facebook.
Yeah. Just press a whole bunch of buttons and figure it out, right?
Maybe it's just me.
You're still in your 20s.
Yeah. So the only difference between setting it up then with a search, let's say like a buyer's, when you go to buyer's registry and they get sent out searches automatically.
Yeah, like a treb search or property.
Well, yeah, but when you're in the buyer's registry, so you're getting it every hour.
Oh,
So the difference between that, and this is a little bit to your point, that and this is with the buyer's registry, it gets sent, they click on view properties and it all comes up.
Mm.
This one, you click on it, but then you have to log in to look at what they've sent you. That's what the difference is.
I'm actually,
But this
you
would,
can send the searches directly to their email, but I don't know if they can view
but
the
they can't
properties
view,
in their
they
email.
can't view them, they can't click on them and it doesn't come up like the
Like the treb one?
the treb that it
The
comes
map.
up with the actual page, you can go through the photos, you actually have to go
Just
through
automatically
another
pops up.
step, you have to log in
Right.
to see the information. So that's kind of what the difference
Let's try
was between the two of them.
So even if they have the app on their phone, they would have to log into it?
Yeah, I think so. You have to log into the app every time, eh, James?
How does it work for them if they don't have the authenticator to have a number to log in?
Okay, so
It's just their.
Yeah, this one's
it's just a
the
password.
Oh,
It's just
password
a
that's
regular,
generated for
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
the default looks like this. So there's just a username and password, right? But like a basic login. But then when you type in your treb number, it pops up with another row for your authenticator code, which I didn't realize. They can even sign in with Facebook.
so I have a couple of questions. So one of them is, I noticed that some of my older clients, they expire, the searches expire. So what is the expiry date? Is it sort of like a prospect search or?
I'm not
Just
sure.
wondering how long. And the other question is, this is a funny one, but can you take them off collab? Like say they've bought whatever and they're still going on and then you think, okay, can you take them off? Oh, it's 90 days. And can you remove them from collab for yourself or do you just delete them?
So, me and James aren't getting along anymore. Delete. And then
Delete
you
client,
can just get
okay.
it from the deck.
So then they no longer have access, okay.
Yeah.
Good feature.
Um,
So 90
Do you get
days,
notification that somebody's expired?
it's
show it like that. It'll show the search if they've expired.
Right.
No, but
I don't think you get notified.
No.
You won't get
Oh,
notified.
I
Like,
couldn't
so you
notice
can't
that.
say extend search if you can on prospect search?
No, it doesn't
I don't know if it-
all in one.
I don't know if it prompts you to extend it.
But if you're paying attention to it, you can extend it?
You'll see that it's expired, and I'm sure if I just do this,
Oh, then you can just go,
and then just resave it, it should not expire.
Oh, okay.
If I just save it as the same search.
Okay.
And then, let's see. Oh.
oh, expired, new, status new, right there below you.
The thing
That's
for
the
the
status
property.
of the.
Oh, right, of course.
Hmm.
Reset? Top? No. No, that
Oh,
would reset
I'll
all
just-
your filters.
What if you go into the client instead of the?
Yeah, probably
Let's
you
go.
can do it.
I think you might just have to create a new search. Because the client doesn't expire after 90 days, it's just a search.
Right?
It'll go after 90 days.
You can't click on expired, doesn't do anything?
I can
No,
just bring you
it
back
just
to
goes back to
that. I'm sure if you just did,
What's
Probably
reset?
do it, right?
it'll just erase everything that you put into the search.
Can you
Oh.
save a search outside of the client?
Yeah, you can make your own searches.
Make your own.
But would that search then be, like, can I drop that search into a client? So
Yeah.
if I have a search where I'm keeping an eye on a certain neighborhood and I've got an area mapped out, and then I happen to get a client in that neighborhood and I can,
Yep, you can save it like that.
yeah?
Yeah.
I'll show you. Yeah, if you just change the name, it'll make a new search that's no longer expired, and it'll reset that 90 days. Okay, so, David, to answer your question, say you were doing a search, lease, sure, condo, whatever, you did your search, and then you could save this for yourself, and then have the search, and then you're like, I have a client who now needs a search like this, you can just add them here. Right?
Okay.
And now they'll receive the same properties that you received from that search. So, anybody have any questions? A lot to it. Could you see yourself using it?
Yeah.
No.
And I think with some clients, you just have to gauge, like, okay, how often do they actually want them to like do these things, and some people probably want like real time where others wouldn't necessarily.
Totally.
So that's the
real
tool
time
you can
thing.
choose.
Yeah.
You get the same thing from the buyer's registry though.
There's-
Time too.
There's something to be said about clients where you want to know exactly what they're getting, and I understand that. But in my experience, it was nice just being able to let them run free, essentially run free. They could do whatever they wanted, but I still got to see what they were doing. And then if it looked like they were out of line, we could have a conversation about it, and then course correct, right? Why could you not see yourself using it? Basically.
There is one?
Yeah, I don't, it's not that I wouldn't see, I could see them using it, I don't have the confidence in it myself yet to establish an online profile with them. So it's just, it's more familiarizing myself with the, with Collab in order to, that if something were to come up, if they were to have more questions, I'd be
Right.
competent enough to guide them that way.
Honestly, I found if you just quickly run through,
And not for, I mean, with the buyer registry updating every hour and emails coming out every day and, I mean, I
Well,
guess the only time I think it would be beneficial to get an hourly update is if like a rental came on the market in Yorkville for under 1,800.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of, right.
It depends on the client though.
So and not doing prospect searches.
Yeah,
I don't do
it's,
prospect searches anymore.
Anymore, so what you've done is you.
but if it's priced that low, it's usually, there's usually an offer day 5 days anyway, and if it's priced high.
I have a client that
Because
was using, I
It
don't know, it was Zillow or something else, just.
it can
she wanted
be a
to see what was
prospect
going on.
search.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is your
Right, so you
alternative.
can set it
just
up
keep an eye on
like a prospect search. So
Yes.
you send them the, all they have to do is set up an account,
There's
but then you
benefit
can
to
set
that.
up a search for them. and they'll get notified the same way they would in a property search. But
Right now
the
there's
difference is they now
too, right? Like,
also have the option
you gotta
to
log
search
into a third
themselves.
place to.
Or you
Otherwise,
say,
they would have to go to
I'm not gonna
realtor.ca,
use it,
and
and
then
then
the time delay or whatever,
here, and
there's
then
probably.
I don't know with it if it comes with family, yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I can just tell everybody not your thing.
And I find it's like,
Some stuff are easier.
some people like to do it themselves.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fight you. If you're gonna be searching the properties anyway, like if they're on realtor.ca and they're sending you stuff and you're like, okay, cool,
Yeah.
then it's better to give them this, that way you can see, like,
What they've been doing, yeah.
if
Where
they're,
they're looking.
if they're searching for properties, this will be the easiest way for them to do it, and then you can keep an eye on them.
Mhm.
You can see exactly what they've been seeing, what they've been liking and whatnot.
And this is if you have a buyer, you know, right, in place, or is this just?
But you can
That's
use it
you.
yourself if you want.
That's up to you, whether you sign
Well,
paperwork with them or not.
Well, so here's what I'm trying to think, so, you know, it's all about value at this point, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think, what are the most salient features here that I'm gonna pitch to somebody to come on board with me? Like, you know,
Real time.
So we were just talking about this, it's like, you might not be familiar with the property search, but that's like the, what do you call it, industry standard for sending listings, where you just go onto Treb, you set up the filter, and then they get notified via email of the properties. You can do the same thing on here, but with this, they also have the option to search properties themselves and create their own searches and their own filters, something that they couldn't otherwise do. Before, they would have to go to realtor.ca, and then they get delayed information, they don't have the same search criteria. I find this a lot easier, and that way you sort of get the best of both worlds.
I see this as high value. Like
Yeah.
14 years ago, part of the reason I'm sitting with all you guys here right now is I thought my realtor was kind of useless. Because I would get up at 6 in the morning and I'd just scour, you know, realtor.ca, and I'd send her a list. And then
That's what I
she'd send me
mean.
some branches back, and I'd say, well, it's close, but not really. You know, in this case here, we're kind of on the same page. It's almost like we're, you know, using.
This
Slack.
was meant for you.
Yeah, yes, this is good. Like, for me, it's a great time to come on board because I want to see this. And when I'm out there, you know, handing out business cards saying, you know, I'm the guy you want to use as your buying agent, although the MREA says that I don't really want to be, you know, on the buying side, but anyway, so. You know, if we're gonna forge a relationship of some sort, here's why you want to use this, and here's how. You know, and I want to say, look, here are the top 5 reasons, because I don't want to be in your shoes. Like, I don't want to be looking at 5 different places. I want to look at one spot, you know, if it's not all spot. No, it's not really, because I've already seen at least 10 different systems here at KW in the last couple of months. So, like, I want to go to one place and see everything show up there, and that's the idea behind the portal. As you log in once, you kind of stay on.
Yeah.
So,
This is the
so
closest
like,
thing to Treb for non-members.
So have you all heard of House Sigma?
Yeah.
Yeah, so people are all over that too.
Yeah.
House Sigma is in the middle.
So House Sigma
What's
is
that?
where you can log in, you give in your email, you create a password, and you can see all available properties and everything that's sold and for what it's sold for.
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously that we know that that's available now to everybody, but they do have to give their information in order to access it. But I have one set of clients right now who are like, they're junkies on this
Yeah.
thing, they're obsessed. So they're gonna see it before I am, because it's like all they're doing basically. But, you know,
This is
that
free.
stuff's there.
This is free.
Yeah,
right?
people don't have to pay for it,
So you don't
just
have to
literally
be
give their email, create
and you don't
an
have to be a
account.
Treb member to.
No, you can be anybody who just wants to know what your neighbor's house sold for, or,
But it's a brokerage website, so now they have their email and contact information, which is what they wanted. You can be sure that they're getting other emails.
oh, for sure, they're probably getting stuff
Right.
in their inbox.
So my question to
Yeah.
Trev is, when are we gonna get sales data that we can give them for login? Like, there should be sales data available on this, which there isn't. So they're way behind the mark on that.
You might be wrong.
Can we get it? Can we do sales data on it?
This is available, unavailable on any, what was that?
So unavailable, so the sales data is on there?
Sold.
Yeah,
See?
you can create up the
Shows
sold.
you how
Okay,
much.
so there goes House Sigma.
So, let me see.
Yeah.
Actually, no,
That must be
actually,
new, because it wasn't there.
House Sigma, no, it's
So
just-
there goes House Sigma.
Well,
Okay.
House Sigma.
Let's try
You
some.
don't have any-
Promote this because this is a.
I want to make a search.
you don't have to leave it
Right,
house, right?
right.
Yeah.
Well, so now my question is, on those listings, they'll say sold, can they get the sold price? Why?
Here, just gonna check what I have here.
Okay. She's in the house. I just set a radius of, I don't know. And then I want it sold data
Islington and Glory, right?
under.
Yeah, but the weird thing is on the lists, where it tells them that it's sold, they can't see the sold price.
So
But click,
Click on it. Oh, maybe there's
It's
not a
sold,
change.
right? It's the sold price.
Yeah.
Where'd the list price go?
Yeah, so I want past year.
Oh, hey,
Original list.
original list, $8.99, so, oh, it is. Ah, really, I'm happy now. I didn't notice that.
And then, so I want sold data, this radius, past year, save.
All right. So that's the sold price that they see on
Interesting.
there. That's new.
What, you can remove one of the agents?
You have to remove, yeah, you're still not able to send the sold data to them. You can set
No.
yourself up for
No,
it.
no, 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 because if
It's
you
on.
go into the list on mine,
But is that from
List
your
of all
end?
clients?
That wouldn't be, that wouldn't be your clients.
You have to
yeah,
go-
that's a good question, because what happens is, for Natalie, if I, oops.
Log into your, log into the client profile without the client stuff and see if you can just set it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to-
Sales customer.
But the
Because I think
sold-
you're viewing that from your.
Oh, wait,
end,
so
right?
can you extend the field then and include online?
I think it's
Multiple
because,
agents.
yeah, that's why.
What's that? So it's,
It's the unavailable. That's,
That's kind
doesn't
of
make
weird.
any sense. That's about approved.
so how did
That
it?
should have.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
So it's not showing.
Because technically speaking, it meets the criteria, right? Because
Yeah.
you've got to log in,
It's a
you've got to have
private-
user ID and it's got to be.
It does, yeah, so, are we sure they can't see that?
I'm not certain. Now I'm just logging in under my client
Yeah. Is that it?
portal. So if I try and go into search,
No, not in search. Where are their lists? Go into your lists.
you know what I'm saying? If
Log
I
into
could see,
the
if I
client.
could see sold data, I'd be able to search it.
No, but where they keep the list of people, and then all of a sudden it changes the status for them.
But does it have the actual sold price?
Yes, but what I don't know is if they're in this format, what do they see? So where that says sold, that's the sold price. Because if you go into that listing,
Let's see.
you'll see the list price down below.
I don't think that they can see it. Let's try.
Can you get their list version on your client one?
Okay, so. let's see, let's do-
So set up an available and unavailable one.
But that's the thing, you can't.
Yeah, how would you set up an unavailable listing?
Well, not even
And
that.
send it to them.
As soon as I tried to set up a search for unavailable properties, and then I tried to share it with one of the clients, it said that data is for salespeople only.
You can't share it.
does.
Can't share it.
It says you can't share
And
it.
I was gonna try and see if the listing had expired, if you could manually send it to them. Versus just like an automatic property search that would send it to them when it switched from available to unavailable. But I still don't think that you can.
So on their list, when something becomes one unavailable or sold, what do they see?
I imagine either they don't see it or they just marked it as sold and there isn't a price.
Like on your leases, there's ones that say leased,
Yeah, so.
so it just changes the.
um,
Yeah, but that's what we see, it's not what
It
they
just
right
change
there.
the
See,
status
leased.
of the
Yeah.
listing.
But it doesn't give the lease. So click on the one
No,
that
but
says
that-
leased there, does it give the lease amount?
That is the least, when it says least, that's the least amount.
Mm.
Because if you go in, it'll show,
Let's try.
but I don't know what they see when it,
You're gonna see what they're gonna
Yeah,
see. Yeah,
let's try this
so.
again. I just want to see if I can find. Ooh. Okay, let's try this.
So how's the city
This
Oh, this is the links.
So this, you're in your, from your end, right?
This is the
Oh,
this is what the client would see. So I just picked a listing that had been leased, and you can do broker full or client full,
Okay.
and I just sent them the listing in. Oh wait,
Well, you're still new.
I'm still. Oh wait. Where's that?
You're still new.
No, look at that. This is the client version. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, it's like purple James, no clients, and then when I click here, it switches
Yeah,
as
you can
clients
log
and
in.
allows.
Yeah, you have to be logged in from your phone.
So then it is showing now.
Well, no, it logs me back in. All I know is that you cannot set up a property search for sold listings. You might be able to send them manually and suggest them to your clients, but you can't set them up a property search for ongoing properties. Which is annoying, because
Maybe, we just call Trip, what's the name?
good. Got more fun.
That's great, then, thank you.
Any other questions I can help you with?
So House Sigma does offer that, the sold listings
It
somewhere?
shows you what it's over.
Right, where's the price? This doesn't.
We can see it, our client.
But client, yeah.
Sorry, they can?
So, you know, we're up and now we're down.
Yeah,
right?
basically.
Wait, they can or can't?
They can see sold price on Sigma,
Uh-huh,
but we can't, they can't see it on here.
right.
Yeah, that's why my clients love House Sigma, so when I'll get a text, oh my god, did you see what the house sold for next door? I'm like, seriously? What? You're already telling me, but they love it because it's like, they get to see it right away.
That's good. Can you set up a search?
For myself?
Well, on
Oh,
House
I knew,
Sigma.
I haven't gone in on it, they showed me, I was at their house and they showed me how to use it.
Interesting.
It's like, it's basically like Realtor.ca, like, or like this, and you can search a map, you can hover over it, you can click on it, you can see the details of the listing, and you can see the sold price. So they're getting all the information that, you know, we used to be able to provide them as a
It's a value add.
value add, yeah. Which we knew was happening anyways, but, so it's not the end of the world. It just sort of eliminates a step of them needing to get in touch with you to find out information.
Let's check it out. First sentence.
I'm online with the help desk, I'm gonna see when they're gonna,
I emailed
see who answers first.
That? That's not allowed.
What's all that?
What's it doing?
Why?
Oh, there we go. I thought, because I didn't have to sign in, and they were going to show me sold data.
No, you have to sign it.
Yeah.
So they won't give you anything.
For the last minute. Do you use it?
How's it going? I literally just watched my clients play around when I was at their house, and they were like, this is what we've been using. I'm like, okay.
Well, I'm always trying, because like, when you're on the go, you can't just whip out your laptop and do something. So I'm always trying to find good apps that I can use really quickly, right?
Kelly,
Who's behind House Sigma?
we were.
Oh,
It's almost there.
Broker.
Which brokers?
I don't know, I'm
How
not
are they
sure.
sourcing that sold data, probably the public? Was that?
Would you ask?
Well, they're basically sourcing the data that we can get right now.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious about who's behind, how's it, who's this brand they did.
Who's putting that there?
Yeah, because somebody's basically looking for
Probably
leads. And they're smart, right? Because they're a step ahead of us again.
But it's a huge, it's not like just, one person or one brokerage, it's like a huge,
But I'm wondering who it is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No, but
It's-
it wouldn't, but aren't Rico and all these, aren't they all, like, because it's saying it's from a brokerage, like, the emails to get, like, on here don't have any information. Like, if, I'm sending an email and it's supposed to have Keller Williams, our address, phone numbers, all that sort of crap on it, but these don't. So, like, isn't that violating at least something?
This is why I'm asking, who's behind, how's it, like, no, if you still go to the terms and conditions, you can probably figure it out, but I'm curious. And I'm about to become a client.
House Sigma uses artificial intelligence technology to estimate home value for all available listings in GTA. With one click, buyers can obtain accurate automated home valuation within seconds. Also, our algorithm correctly identifies similar nearby solds to help buyers in determining their final offer price. They're just trying to eliminate us, those assholes.
Yeah,
It's not gonna
but
happen.
I wonder how the whole experience with Zillow is that they can't do that because those pictures, they can't see the interior shots of the houses.
You can on here.
Well,
It's the average.
No, the algorithm,
But
but
the
the algorithm,
algorithm,
it
oh.
doesn't look at new versus renovated versus,
No.
so it can't.
But it does. They're now they'll give you an offer within 48 hours. Any property, no pictures. They don't even have to see it.
Who will give you
In the States, like if you get a estimate, there's companies that'll offer you cash for your house within 2 days.
Risky, wow.
But the averages, they're right.
They're not right.
But they are, that's the thing. Because you get the right average, some of them are gonna be worse and some of them are gonna be better.
No, but for the average person selling their house.
If
No,
somebody
it's not for the
can't
average
see that,
person, it's for the distressed seller. Because it's like, we'll buy your house in 2 days.
Oh, it's terrible.
Good morning, we're just on Collaborate and we're looking through and we're wondering, when you're in the list version, can our clients see the sold prices? The sold price, we can see them on our side of Collab, can our clients see them on their list version? No. When they've been sent stuff and there's a list that they've accumulated, and then the list, well, on my side, it shows the status of the listing, and when it says sold, it's showing the sold price. Is my client seeing the exact same thing, or do they just see sold and no price? Mhm.
Give them peace of your mind.
Well, he didn't know, he had to go check.
Oh,
Okay, well, I did also look this up, so House Sigma is actually the brokerage name,
Yeah.
and so, but like, HouseSigma.com is their, like, brokerage website. There's, there's very little on here about, like, it's not a brokerage website like you would go to.
No, it's an
Okay,
MLS,
It's
it's a virtual.
Yeah.
Probably a virtual,
Yeah.
like XP or whatever it's called. But it's interesting because
Yeah, thank you.
a House Sigma has a listing history, so it has the one property and it shows this particular condo has been terminated. It said when it sold in 2014, then it showed a listing that it terminated, and then it showed that it has all of the actual history
Oh.
of this with all the different listing IDs. It's pretty comprehensive, actually.
They're located in Markham.
Yeah.
Their phone numbers in the cloud.
Heard of purple brick? Brokerage, ultra low commissions.
agent. Well, thanks for this, it was good.
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
We appreciate your time.
Of course.